We are live, and welcome back this week to, we're going to be trying, we had some technical difficulties last week with internet connections and things like that. Look, you know, we're not going to blame ourselves, so let's blame the NBN and not having the NBN. And we're in a major metropolitan area. But anyhow, let's not dwell upon that. So I'm Luke from e-CBD. We have
Matt from Verg.
And Susanna from e-CBD.
Yeah. And so today we're going to be talking about Instagram in 2018. And yeah, just, you know, Matt's been on Instagram for many years now, has quite a big following. Susanna works every day in social media, and Instagram's part of that. And, you know, I'll bring whatever I can bring to the table as well. So what we were trying to do last week was just give you a little bit of an intro first, give you an idea of where Instagram came from and how it started. So in 2010, a couple of developers started Instagram in San Francisco. The first actual Instagram photo was posted on July 16, 2010, so that's coming up to 8 years very soon. And then it was in the App Store by October of that same year. Originally, the app had been a Foursquare competitor, but Foursquare just kind of was, you know, growing and had the market share, so they tried to go in a different direction, and they turned Instagram, well, Bourbon it used to be called, into Instagram, and it was a photo sharing application.
Bourbon, I did not know that.
Bourbon, yeah, suburban.
There you go.
Not as in bourbon the drink, but suburban as in the urban.
There you go.
And that's the whole location setting. And now Instagram has been, you know, it's become a verb, a noun in and of itself now. So then the next big, well, one of the next big things that happened to Instagram was it was acquired by Facebook in March of 2012 for $1 billion, stock and cash. Yeah. And I think the next big thing, and one of the things that we'll be kind of talking about and touching upon, Instagram used to be chronological. So basically you post a photo and, you know, whatever time you post that, you'll see that in your feed if you're following that person. In March 2016, it went from chronological, time-based feed to an algorithm-based feed. Yes. And so that meant that, yeah, your photo had to, I guess, perform in a certain way, and there's all these different factors, and we won't go into the technical side of it, to be able to appear in the right people's feeds. I think that's probably the best way to describe it. Apparently, before the algorithm, about 70% of the photos that were being posted to Instagram were in the chronological feed were actually being missed. So a lot of people complained about it because it was like, well, how are people going to see, you know, I have to play the algorithm game now to be able for people to see my photo. But it actually, hopefully, the idea was that it would actually make more photos seen by people who actually cared about the photos. So that's a little bit of the history of Instagram and how it started. That's not really, you know, what we're here to talk about today and what you're probably interested in hearing, but it's good to know where it came from. Please let us know in the comments if you're an Instagram user for personal use. Use a love heart. So if you see the little, you got likes and hearts and wow faces and things like that. So if you're a personal user, let us know with a love heart. And if you're a Instagram user for business, let us know with one of the wow faces. I'm going to try a little bit of reacting so that we can see on our end how people are. If I can get my iPad to bring up our our Facebook Live feed.
So Matt, when did you start on Instagram yourself?
First post? Well, I guess like all social media platforms, you start getting wind of, you know, people using them, and I think it was back in 2011, December, I posted my first picture. But back then, it was purely personal.
Yeah.
It was a picture of my dog as a puppy next to a brand new surfboard that I bought. And I thought that would be the first perfect photo for Instagram. But it kind of evolved.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, because I specialise, to give you a bit of my backstory,
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
I specialise in corporate identity. And within corporate identity, I do a lot of calligraphy and lettering-based commissions. So I design logos like that have that same aesthetic as Coca-Cola or Ford. That's that cursive style.
Hold for a second. It's just dropped off.
Excellent.
All right, we're back.
All right, we're back. So, yeah, so basically I started posting for personal reasons. I was very active on social media on other sites within my creative industry, and I noticed a lot of people were starting to post their work on Instagram. So it was probably about around 2012, halfway through 2012, I shifted from barbecue pictures of my dog, my surfing, and beer and stuff like that, into showcasing some of my process photos of my work. And through there, from that point in time, I was getting more likes and more follows because of the interest in seeing that hands-on process for what I do. And with the use, and I'm sure we'll touch base on this in a bit later on, but with the use of certain hashtags, all of a sudden my following just started skyrocketing because a lot of people were looking for, calligraphy, lettering, corporate identity, logos, stuff like that. So, in a very short amount of time.
Yeah. All right, so once you started utilising those hashtags and things like that,
my following went up, and so that suggested to me that this is a place to share my work, and I just kept posting, and it just became just another one of those social media platforms for my business to get my work out there. Like I said, I was very busy posting to other social media outlets like. In my instance, within the creative industry, it's sites like Dribble and Behance, and all of those social media avenues opened up exposure to my work, to international clients and stuff like that. So all of a sudden, Instagram became the place
to post.
If you're a
creative, that's really good.
Do you think you got customers through your Instagram? Or clients, sorry?
Through social media stacks. So my clientele basis, it's roughly 80% from overseas, and that's been happening through sites like Behance, Dribble, which all feed back to my website, and Instagram now. So definitely through Instagram. They usually go through my website, but it's Instagram is their first,
Like a gallery, a portfolio.
Yeah, it's like a gallery and portfolio. So it definitely, I've generated some very big clients through Instagram. Doing that. So
and obviously, if people can, you've got a large following. So what is your following sitting at the moment?
I'm at 35,000 point something.
And so obviously, if you've got a big following and people are interested, in you, it's almost like this person's doing things that are hot. People are interested in their work. They can then look for themselves, and then so it is a really nice way to showcase your work and also get a feel for the popularity of what you're doing as well.
Although there's no rhyme or reason for what will be the success of a post. Sometimes you think something's going to be a knockout post, and it's not for one reason or another. And then something that you don't think, will go gangbusters. So it's a funny old thing, Instagram. I think for me, and we'll probably touch base on this, it's really about consistency in posting and just turning up and posting often is the key to it.
Definitely. So when you talked about this point where you started using hashtags, that was the point where you felt like you were getting a little bit of interest, and then all of a sudden it kind of tipped?
So when I started posting process work, I realised, no one was seeing it, and I was thinking, well, how are these other people that do the same work
in front of people?
Getting in front of people? And I noticed they were using hashtags. And so it was explained to me that, what a hashtag was, and, just very quickly, in a nutshell, if people are searching for a particular type of thing, they'll search a hashtag. In my case, it might be lettering or calligraphy. And so there's lots of people searching these things because they might not know who these people are that are doing them. But if they search a hashtag, they'll see it pop up on the feed, and then they'll see something they like, they'll click on that, they'll then see the artist behind it,
profile.
and then the profile. So I started using hashtags in the early days. I don't use hashtags now.
No.
Is that because your following's big enough?
Well, yes, but I don't think your following can ever be. Well, there are rock star designers that just don't need to because their work's being reposted
Is that what you're
and
saying
reblogged.
you are? Is that what
No. So here's the interesting story. So I stopped hashtagging after about 5,000 followers,
Right?
And I just let it all happen organically.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've got curated galleries that were helping my growth by liking what I did and then reposting it. I stopped after then, and I don't know why I didn't introduce hashtags again. But I probably should because I have watched a lot of other designers that still continue to use them.
Hashtag,
Just go forward in leaps and bounds
Yeah.
with their followings. So maybe I don't know. Maybe I just
Look, I think there's always a place for hashtags, mainly from a just you don't have to use as many as you probably did when you first started, but you can at least I think maybe you can do up to 30, maybe 10 is sufficient.
Some people love them, some people hate them.
Yeah.
Some people love them too much, I think.
Yes, sure.
When you see 30 hashtags, which is the
The
maximum, you go, oh, yuck. But I read a stat, and it's with one hashtag on your post, you get 12.6% more likes than if you didn't have
really?
one.
So there you go.
And, so if you have like 5,
Yeah.
I'm figuring
the
percentage
stacking
goes
there.
up quite a bit.
Yeah, and there's strategies that people have about what types of hashtags to use and how to tier them down. And Instagram's very helpful at letting you know how many people have hashtagged certain things in the past. But I think it's one of those things where it's definitely valuable if you want to keep that growth happening.
Definitely. I mean, how else are you going to get that exposure?
Yeah.
I read somewhere that if you use the same hashtags all the time, Instagram will punish you for that. So it's good to circulate a
Change
certain
them
amount
up.
and not
Yeah.
have too many. Apparently, it doesn't.
Yeah,
It's changed a little bit.
Yeah, look, I think that's the thing. I think you got to be tastefully use
Tasteful.
hashtags.
And I like them when they're used in humour too.
Definitely.
Halfway through a post and you whack in a hashtag because it's
Yeah, for sure. No, I think you can
fun.
get clever with it.
Yes.
Okay, so there's a few more questions I had here.
Sure.
Before we talk to Susanna, what kind of changes have you noticed in the last couple of years with Instagram? Because I know you've
Well, probably it's mainly, that's why I did this at the start, when you said the word algorithm. Since the new algorithm, I probably had about 37,000 followers before the new algorithm. I've found it really hard for my following to grow since then. I feel like Instagram has designed itself in a certain way that it's rewarding people with views by how active you are on the application. I have taken a little bit of a back seat towards social media over the last couple of years, so I'm not as active on it, Instagram likes you to be posting often.
Yeah, definitely.
Almost daily. Or at least
that's
4
what
to
we
5.
recommend to our clients to post daily.
Yeah.
And which is fine, and that's what I was doing in the early days when I had a lot of growth with followers. It's rewarding people that are using the stories, and now it's got the video feature. Probably it's going to take that into consideration.
Yeah, there'll be part of that in there now. Yeah.
Commenting when someone leaves a comment. I also read that it rewards people if you reply back to people. Kind of
in a timely fashion.
Yeah, exactly. So, all those things I think have probably slowed down my growth with Instagram. So they're the things that I've noticed.
Yeah,
it's
kind of starts taking the fun out of it and makes it a bit more of a chore sometimes when you've got to do all these things to get the same kind of return that you used to get.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no. So Susanna, you've kind of given us a little bit, but what's your background in social media? And
Well, I started at a social media monitoring company, and I did that for quite a few years. But now at e-CBD, I create social media plans and schedules and strategies for our clients, and I use Instagram as one of those platforms to get their word out.
Yeah. And so how are you using Instagram for clients?
I like to use a system called Planoly, but there's heaps of other ones out there, and that way I can schedule the posts so they're daily, and I can see them all lined up, all looking pretty on the grid. That's what I really like. And I can see, I can manage my hashtags that way and manage comments and things like that. So I find it's a really good tool, because it is image-based. So it's good for clients it's good for people who aren't that comfortable with words. Even though the words are just as important as the photos, it couldn't be like 3 words rather than a big post.
Yeah, that's
like
right.
That.
You let the picture kind of do talking.
But that's not to say don't disregard
no,
the
absolutely
wording.
not.
Because
Well, no, people do really connect with that, and I know that especially with like yourself, Matt, if you're doing process photos, people often want a bit of an insight into what
so
you're
I
doing.
put a bit of time into actually leaving a bit of information about each post, and I have noticed that whenever you do, you get more comments, or people are more likely to interact with you if you leave a bit of information or a bit of your personality in the comment. I find it helps sometimes. You don't need a comment.
Yeah, that's right. It can be self-explanatory.
But
no, and I know that I think, and I don't, and this is more not with the algorithm. Some of your comments, maybe some of the things that you're mentioning in there, if they're on on brand, sorry, not on brand, on topic with your hashtags as well, I do wonder if there is some kind of correlation with that actually helping to kind of, maybe give it that little bit of an extra indicator to Instagram that, you're talking about the same thing. But that said, just a single image without any comment can also do really well. But I do wonder that.
Yeah, with the comments, it's also just a really nice way to communicate with the audience as well. And that
social.
really helps. I find when you, like I said, talk about your process, or how you're feeling about certain things and stuff like that, people do connect with that.
Yeah, for sure.
But you can just use a love heart or
That's right,
a wow.
Yeah.
Things like that too.
Definitely keep it social. Okay, so now you said you started with a personal Instagram. Have you changed it to a business?
Yeah,
Instagram?
so I changed it to a business I don't know how long, whenever that sort of came about, and it's remained that way. There was at one point in time I did change it back to a personal because around the grapevine people saying, maybe that's got something to do with the drop in views and stuff like that. But no, I've since put it back to business because it is my business.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah,
and you've got
the analytics
as
well. And is it linked to your Facebook?
I don't share things. It's not linked. I mean, I guess I could, because when you share the photo, it gives you that option.
Well, it's linked to be a business page. It has to be linked to your Facebook page. But you don't. What you're saying is you don't share through to. Facebook.
I handle both platforms separately.
And I think that's the best idea.
Yeah.
I don't really like seeing hashtags on Facebook.
And
it's different posting.
I write differently for Facebook. I might share the same photo.
Yeah.
But I find if you're sharing the same image with the same caption across, like in my case, Dribble, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, it's there's not enough difference in them. And I also share different things on different platforms as well.
Definitely.
Although I did a survey on Twitter recently, because a lot of my Twitter posts were very similar to my Instagram posts, albeit sent at different times. Like I might send on Twitter the same thing I did on Instagram a week later or something like that. But I asked everyone, I did a survey, how many people see this work elsewhere before, and then it's just seeing it again. And a large percentage said they haven't seen it on the other.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to actually say that, because I was definitely a hardcore kind of post differently to Facebook to Instagram, but for my own business, my wife and my business, I'm definitely reusing a lot of the Insta because I know that the people who are on Insta aren't the same people as the people who are on Facebook. So you can, I think you have to feel it out though. I think, and I definitely I edit out the hashtags when I post across, unless there is maybe one hashtag that might kind of, like you said, you use it in jest or something like that, or
adds a bit of spark.
Yeah, that's right. So I think that it is interesting though that you actually check that out.
Yeah, I wanted to, because I didn't want people to say, I guess, I wasn't sure whether I had to bring a completely different game to Twitter.
Yeah. Because it would be tiring doing all these different.
But people might see something on Twitter that they missed on Instagram because of the algorithm. So it's a good way to back up your posts for those that did miss it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Suzanne, have you got anything to add about having an Instagram business page and the value of that, and what kind of things? I guess
Well, Insights is really good.
Yep.
You can see if your hashtags are working, so you can see who's coming from the hashtags, how many people. You can see the views. You can see how many people went to your account, so that after looking at the posts. So that's really
really
helpful.
handy.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But like you said, there's a bit of sometimes no rhyme or reason why certain posts do better than others, and it can be quite
time of day that can be important. Things like that.
Definitely.
When you can see when your viewers, when they're mostly online, so you can post at those times more.
Yeah. Definitely.
So in my case, a large majority of my followers come from America, the United States, and so for me, if I publish something around midday here, it's everyone's asleep.
Yeah, so you might have to wake up in the middle of the night and post.
Towards what I've always found is towards the end of an afternoon, when Europeans are sort of waking, that's when there's a fair bit of traffic that hits, and then America follows with waking, so that can sort of snowball views and interaction with your post. Because I think that's what the algorithm does. It works out, how much interactivity your post gets in a short amount of time, which then sort of spreads it even further.
That's kind of, Facebook works on the same principle. YouTube works on a similar principle.
They want to connect you with people who are interested in what you're doing. They want to make sure that your friends and family see the posts. And that's what Facebook's changes the algorithm were all about too.
That's right. To
making your life better.
That's right, and to make to make the platform more engaging, and people use it.
Spend more time on it.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, so we better keep moving. So how do we get more followers? Because I know that's going to be the question people want to know about Instagram.
Hashtags. They can, so if someone likes your post, you like their profile back. Yeah. And hopefully then they'll like you.
Yeah. So you're a like for like.
Well, I try and
sorry, follow for follow.
Well, for business, I make sure that it's PG. That we're liking back. That's really important.
Yeah.
I find that using locational hashtags.
Yeah, definitely.
So, we're on the Gold Coast, so if it's for a Gold Coast business, I might do hashtag Gold Coast or hashtag Gold Coast Living. Yeah. If it, whatever it relates to, that can get people who are in the area interested.
Yeah.
What else?
I think it depends on where you're at with your
Definitely.
Instagram account. If it's early days with your Instagram account, yes, definitely the use of hashtags, because people need to discover you, and it's the only way people are going to discover you. It's for people that are established, I guess it's turning out. It's content. Content reigns supreme. All good content always comes to the surface, and that's how people will repost. Like the curated galleries will repost what so make it visual, not too advertising.
No, not at all.
You can't. So I remember once I was releasing a font, and I thought with the followings that I had, that it was going to go gangbusters. I was going to get heaps of people buying my font, because everyone that follows me,
that's what they're into.
Yeah,
that's your audience. Yeah.
No, I didn't get any sales from it. Right, so it might have been the wrong sort of demographic. I don't know. For one reason or another, it didn't sort of work out. But don't make it too salesy. Maybe I came across too salesy with it.
Well, you can shop on Instagram now, so maybe it was, just one of those posts.
Yeah. Maybe.
One of the things that I would say, and this is something that I don't think you should be scared to do, particularly if you're a business and you are, yes, predominantly. I think if you're going to, like, let's say you're having a flash sale, don't be afraid to post maybe 4 times in that day, because that's appropriate, because they know it's only going to happen for a short period of time. Now, I know it's a bit different in your case. So with the new font, it may have been okay for you maybe to do a few posts spread over a couple of days.
Yeah. See, I did that.
Yeah.
I think with the flash thing, it would be better to do maybe one post, because I don't think Instagram likes it when you do too many in one day. Yeah. It's probably better to utilise the stories and to push the message out.
That's actually a really good point. So pushing it like that.
So with me, I ended up losing followers because I think it depends. It's an isolated incident, but
no. I think it's good to have this discussion, because I think it is. You as a business, you need to be experimenting with these things. And you need to be playing with it, and not be scared to experiment, because I think.
And I think you heard what your followers said, but they didn't want to be sold to.
Yeah.
So
you find another way maybe to spread that word.
You're listening to what they're.
So what I should have done was concentrated more on process photos of the construction of that font.
Exactly.
And then people like that, because again, it's visual. And as soon as I started posting sort of vectored, advertised-looking,
much more polished
advertisement-looking
work.
posts, I think that's what turned people off.
Yeah.
If I had had sort of more hand-drawn process of me crafting the font,
Yeah.
it would have gotten more views, and then people would have read the comment, and then that's where I can do the selling.
You can do
part.
the selling in that part. Yeah. No, I see what you mean.
So you have to be calculated a little bit about it.
Well,
But the big thing is turning up and posting often.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely. Consistency is really important. And like we were saying, using the right medium. So for a flash sale, it was a really good point. Stories are a perfect medium for that because you can post up to 10, 20 something. You know, like I see some people, they post lots of stories throughout the day. And that is the kind of medium that, you know, somebody, you know, they expect it. So they're not going to be
swipe
turned
up
off
for
by
more information, and then that
Exactly.
can lead you towards the site where you actually make the sale.
That's it.
Stories are good because they're a little bit more casual. You know, you can put a little bit of, you know, your own personality in them, bit of humour.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, exactly. I think it's funny. Instagram was social, but now it's become a little bit more, a little less social, and now stories have become the more social kind of part of the platform. Okay, we've talked about. I've got a few notes here on hashtags and content. I think we've kind of talked enough about those. Consistency, hashtagging, all that sort of thing are important. We've talked a little bit about Instagram stories, and I guess. Got anything to add about Instagram stories? I think people should be doing them.
Definitely. Good for the algorithm.
Yeah.
Good to get up there.
Yeah, I think 1 or 2 maybe a day at minimum would be good. You know.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't overtake your life.
Right, exactly.
You know?
I think that's a big
and you're just
point,
pushing
yeah.
content for the sake of pushing content.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've got good content to share. Look, the other day I shared a dance off with my sister.
Yeah.
Right? Because it was just, and it's just behind the scenes, a little bit of fun, shows a bit of your personality and all that.
And your sister is a dancer, though.
And
isn't
she is a dancer.
A
She
very
won,
good dancer.
hands down.
Yeah.
But you know, then one day put some process
Yeah.
behind the scenes of actually what your business is about
Definitely.
and what you do.
Yeah,
Maybe
hugely.
personalities behind your
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
So there's
Events you're going to, maybe competitions,
Exactly.
or all sorts of things, fundraising,
Yeah.
community
Behind
events.
the scenes in the office.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, whose birthday
The
it is.
personality, yeah.
who's winning ping pong.
That's
Oh.
right, definitely. It's Matt and Susanna. They have a go. Yes, have
Yes.
a ongoing rivalry. That's what I was going to say. Ongoing rivalry. Okay. Finally, Instagram TV. We briefly touched on it. It's something new. It's only very new.
Yeah.
Will you be participating in that?
Oh, look, you know, at some point when I feel like I want to get involved,
That
I
long
probably will. I can see. I've published quite a few things on YouTube.
Yes.
You can only do portrait on this
Yes, that's the
platform.
thing. It's
Okay, so
yeah.
it's a shame because
Well, it's weird.
yeah.
I'm a
You got to do it
bit old
both
school in
ways
that
now.
way.
So yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Look, I'm more interested potentially in doing the live
Yeah, the
Instagram
live thing.
stuff
Yeah,
where
yeah, definitely.
I can show my process.
I
Say
think it's a great idea.
I'm creating a logo or I'm sitting down doing some calligraphy for Spotify or something like that. Maybe showing some live process of how I go about it,
sure.
and I'm sure that would go down really well. Probably better than the dance off. Although I was surprised that the
I
dance
can't
off.
wait to have a look.
Yeah,
I
now
haven't
we're
seen
going to go
it.
and check this dance off.
What's
Although
your
it's probably,
Instagram
it's probably
account?
It was a couple of days
a
ago.
story,
It's
so it won't be
gone
there
now.
anymore.
No.
Oh,
No, that
no.
is the
saved
thing.
it for you.
And Suzanne, do you have any thoughts about Instagram TV yet, or not really?
Not yet.
No, I think
No,
we're
it's
going
all
to
very
wait
new.
and see
It's
what
only a
happens.
couple of weeks old, so,
Yeah,
you know.
I think we'll have to just wait and see what
Wait and
happens. I've seen some YouTube videos about Instagram TV, which is kind of funny, and I've been wanting to watch them, but I'm kind of like, I'm not there just yet. So when that happens, we might go and we might talk about that at a future date. So I guess look, seeing we couldn't do the live feed, and if by now you'll know that we've just basically taken this video, we've just kept. And hopefully we haven't gone on for too long. Please leave thoughts, comments below. We'll try and get back to them, even though this isn't officially live. Please share it with other people who you might think this information is valuable to. Let us know if Instagram has been working for you, and if you have any tips of your own, because sometimes you can come up with some great insights that we may miss. So, any last closing thoughts? Anything that?
Look, with Instagram and social media, you get back what you put in.
Yeah.
So if you decide it's good for your business, it can be fantastic for your business, but you can't expect you have to have a bit of a plan of attack. And whether it's, structuring it in a certain way, what you're going to do, or whether it's just turning up every day and just
Doing
seeing what works
Yeah.
for you. You can't just sort of post here and there and expect, for
Yeah,
sure.
you
you're gonna
need
get
a
these
strategy, and
Yeah,
you need to make that
strategy's
strategy manageable.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So, look, hopefully that's been helpful to you. We've had fun talking about it. Like I said, leave any questions in the comments section, whether you're seeing this on YouTube or whether you're seeing it on Facebook, and we'll try and answer them. Have a great day and a great week, and we'll see you soon.